All right, just let me know.
Okay, you can go.
Okay. Going to college is a great experience for anyone who attends. There are so many things a student is able to do while attending college. One of the most popular things to do is go to a college sports game, whether it's football, basketball, or even field hockey. Most people on these sports teams were star athletes at their local high schools and are now given the chance to shine on the next level. These students get the best opportunities a person can get trying to reach their goal of becoming a professional athlete. College athletes should not get paid because they get enough exposure. Academics should be the priority, and the pay scale would be unfair. The recipe to play a sport in college is an easy one. Become the become the best player in your school and hope colleges look at you and decide if they want to offer you a scholarship. Because the chances of getting a scholarship are so slim, the athletes that do get them should make the most out of the opportunities they are given. The students should not be worrying about getting paid for the work that they do on the field or court. Going to a big name school such as Florida State or in Alabama will give the player far more exposure to professional scouts than going to a smaller school such as Florida Atlantic University or Middle Tennessee. In 2015, the NBA draft alone had 6 players from the University of Kentucky, with 4 of them being selected in the first round. These players are getting paid in other ways, even though they aren't literally making money. They are on scholarships and get tons of exposure that can only benefit them. As important as sports are to college athletes, we cannot forget the main reason they are there, to learn. Let's say in a perfect world, college athletes didn't get paid. Wouldn't you think that it would affect them more negative than positive? If schools were to add money into the mix, I believe it would cause even more problems. It's not a secret that college athletes are put into easy classes just to get by while they focus on sports. If things like if things like players getting easier classes just to be able to play are happening in schools, then what makes people believe that it would get any better because they are getting paid? For the students, college should not be looked at as a business opportunity, but as a learning experience. In most colleges, in the United States, football and basketball are the 2 biggest sports and make the most money. In 2015, Duke University brought in $27 million just from basketball. The University of Texas brings in a whopping $104.5 million per year. It would seem only right that the football and basketball players would get paid more money because of how popular the sports are and how much money that they bring in. Baseball and soccer players will get less because their respective programs don't bring in much money compared to football and basketball. In the eyes of players that are on the less popular sports teams, they would view the pay scale to be very unfair. Envy among peers could create an unhealthy school environment. The students who attend these schools and don't play sports would also be very envious as well. Some of them have to pay for their own tuition out of their pocket and have to work multiple jobs just to be able to go to school. And it would not be fair for these college athletes to be on full ride scholarships while also getting paid. College level level athletes getting paid to play sports seems like an idea that leads to many dead ends. The players themselves do not need money because of the exposure they receive by playing sports at the college level. The players' priorities could be in jeopardy if schools decide to pay them. There would not be a fair pay scale in place based on the amount of money sports like football and basketball bring in compared to soccer or baseball. I'm done.
Okay, I'll go next. Okay, so what is your daily morning routine? You get up, you go in the shower, you get dressed, you eat breakfast, brush your hair, brush your teeth, and put on your makeup. Did you ever think that maybe you should put sunscreen on as well? Well, guess what? You should, because that would prevent your chances from getting skin cancer. How many people actually wear sunscreen when they go outside? According to the CDC, only 31% of people wear sunscreen when they go outside on a daily basis. That means 69% of people do not wear sunscreen. And did you know that skin can be damaged by the sun's UV rays in as little as 15 minutes? And then the skin damage would show up 12 hours later. If you don't believe me, here are some health concerns regarding not wearing sunscreen. Skin cancer is the most common form of cancer in the United States. The two most common are basal cell carcinoma and squamous cell carcinoma. They are highly curable, but they are costly and they do cause some disfigurements. Melanoma is the most common type of skin cancer, and it's the most dangerous. In 2013, the CDC states that about 70,000 people in the United States were diagnosed with melanoma of the skin, and about 10,000 people of those people died. Do you know how to prevent skin cancer? Well, daily use of body lotion with SPF in it as part of your morning routine could protect you from the sun when you go outside. It provides protection, and it also smells good. Let's see. There may be times that you don't realize that you're going to be outside for a long amount of time. For example, walking across the parking lot and bumping into a friend and having a long conversation, or maybe you decide to eat lunch outside one day. Well, there you go. You've been outside for more than 15 minutes, and you've caused damage to your skin. That's why it's a good idea to wear SPF in the morning as part of your morning routine. I do have some people that are close to me that have experienced skin cancer. My mom had some skin cancer removed from her chest a few years ago. My aunt has had recurring skin cancer removed from her face, and she now has to see a plastic surgeon. My friend's sister from nursing school is still battling stage 3 or stage 4 melanoma currently. So let's take action. Wear sunscreen in the morning. Make sure when you go outside you reapply frequently, especially if you're going to be in the water or doing active sports and you're going to be sweating. Make sure you wear sunglasses and a hat, and wear protective clothing like a rash guard. And then also stay away from tanning beds. I hope that you'll benefit from this information and that you'll go out and buy some lotion with SPF in it tomorrow and start wearing it as part of your morning routine.
I'll go, I guess. All right, so I'm here to talk to you today about my views regarding organ donation and why you should become an organ donor and how to become an organ donor after you die. One organ donor can save up to 8 lives and change the lives of more than 50 people. Almost anybody can be an organ donor regardless of age or medical history. You can save lives by becoming an organ donor, or you might know somebody who needs their life saved by an organ donation. I'll begin by telling you about organ donation. According to organdonor.gov, there's a huge number of organ donations needed in the United States and lack of organ donors. Someday you or your family might need an organ donation. Like I said, one organ donation can save up to 8 lives and give the recipient a second chance at life. There are more than 123,000 people waiting for an organ. Approximately 21 people die every day waiting for an organ. The organs needed include kidneys, liver, heart, lung, and pancreas. Someone is added to the organ donation list every 10 minutes. And each day, 79 people receive organ transplants, but on average, 22 people end up losing their life waiting for a transplant because there is a shortage of people donating their organs. So donating organs can help someone on the transplant waiting list live a fulfilling life. It's a way that some patients can cope with having their disease. It also helps the family cope with the challenge of having a loved one who is sick. There's no cost at all to be an organ donor. And probably one of the greatest benefits of organ donation is knowing that you're saving a life. You might be saving a spouse, a child, parent, brother, sister, or a close friend. For the family of the deceased donor, they feel like a sense of goodness that came from this tragedy, because they're giving somebody else a second chance, a deserving person. So to donate your organs after death, you can either register with your state's donor registry, which is organdonor.gov, or you can become an organ donor when you renew your license. You can even start by donating your blood. Every 2 seconds in the United States, someone needs blood. So you can do that by going to your local Big Red Bus. And I chose this topic today because I feel like there is a lack of education regarding organ donation. I also believe organ donation can give other people a chance to have a successful life. Almost anybody can be an organ donor. It's free, and you can save someone's life, or someone could end up saving you or your family member's life.
Okay, I'll go next. Can I go? So I want to tell you guys about the benefits of knowing more than one language, specifically in the workplace. I personally took 6 years to learn the Spanish language and have had significantly more job offers because of my ability to speak more than one language. More employers from all different types of companies have contacted me, and one of the first things they mention is that bilingual Spanish is listed on my resume. So because of our increasingly globalized economy, recruiters are extremely interested in people with the ability to speak more than one language. And according to the January 2005 International Recruiter Index, 88% of executive recruiters say the ability to speak more than one language is critical to international business success. In the workplace specifically, better pay is offered. So in other words, companies that have a hard time finding enough translation professionals to meet their internal and customer needs have to pay top dollar to beat out other competitors for bilingual workers that are available instead. Another thing is job flexibility. It's huge with being bilingual. It gives you more flexibility to move around in different positions within an organization. If you're working with other companies with diverse employers or customers, you can use your bilingual skills to your advantage and combine what you know with other skills to go after jobs you want. So, for example, if you have sales experience, you could look into sales openings in customer markets where bilingual speakers are needed. Translation opportunities are huge, and tour guides are also other examples where you could change careers more easily than people who only speak one language. Global traveling in general is another huge opportunity to take advantage of and is more suited for people that speak multiple languages. By being bilingual, you can strengthen workplace skills while using your talents on the job. You can expand your vocabularies and have better problem-solving skills, as well as listening and interpersonal skills, which employers really look for mostly. They also get a chance to work with people in their company that they otherwise wouldn't normally interact with, which can be extremely motivating and compelling to learn new qualities and traits about people. Learning another language is actually much easier than you think, and there are so many options nowadays to go about it. Taking a class is one option if you're already enrolled in school. Cheap apps on tablets or iPhones such as Babbel, Duolingo, or Memrise, or even immersing yourself in different cultures can really help you learn quickly. I personally prefer this method because I went to a friend with Uruguay for a month and learned more than one language than I did in a semester of schoolwork. So aside from being a step ahead in the workplace, imagine yourself being able to understand people from different cultures, translate their language, feel helpful with communication, and be a pro with traveling. I honestly believe it's never too late to learn a second language, and you can start receiving so many benefits if you learn now. So again, so many studies show that people who speak more than one language typically have higher paying jobs and get jobs easier than people who don't. So I really encourage you guys to start learning another language to create more job opportunities for yourself in today's increasingly globalized world.
Okay, I'll go now. Imagine getting more than half of your oxygen taken away. Snow falling in Florida, earthquakes in New York. a world without shellfish or even fish. That's what would happen if sharks went extinct. According to SeaShepherd.com, sharks are one of the most crucial parts of the marine ecosystem, and if they go extinct, it would be very dangerous to the environment, because oceans make up 1/3 of our food, and they produce more oxygen than all of the rainforests. They control our weather and our temperature. So without sharks, the oceans would be unhealthy, and it could really affect the environment. So it is very important that we as a society do something to protect sharks, because we are the ones that are killing them. And sharks face a lot of dangers, like they're getting overfished over the high demand for shark fins, for their shark oil. They're getting fished for recreational fishing, and they also get killed when other seafood is targeted. What we need to do is find ways that are within our control to be able to help them, so that our future children and grandchildren could live in a better world. And what we can do, according to SaveSharks.org, is sign petitions that protect sharks. We can not eat any shark products that they sell at restaurants, weddings, and other places where they serve shark products. And we can educate our community about how important they are, and we can even dive to save them. So imagine how beautiful our world would be for our future generations if we do something to change, if we make a change now. There are many man-made products that are getting made every day that are destroying our environment, and we need to do what we can to save the natural things on the earth that are saving or helping the planet, like the sky, the rainforest, the trees, the animals, the oceans, the sharks. They're like the Earth's warriors. So we need to do what we can to protect them. If not, then our future will be defenseless. So what I ask you guys to do after this is take 5 minutes to post an article on social media, Facebook or Instagram, about how important sharks are for the environment and the dangers that they're going through, and talk to your family, your friends about them. So if we educate the world, then maybe we'll learn to be more gentle and caring toward these ferocious, intelligent, and magnificent creatures that are warriors of the earth. Thank you.
When I look back on my childhood, I remember going to school, being excited to see old friends, meet new friends, and nowadays kids don't look forward to school. This is because of the standardized testing that has been put in. The government is trying to make basically cookie cutter children by using only a strict standardized testing system. This testing system is doing more harm than good to the youth in our country. Kids aren't allowed to be kids anymore, and teachers do not enjoy their job as they used to. This testing puts too much pressure on kids as young as 6 years old, and puts more pressure on the teachers than is needed. If this testing is taken away, teachers will be able to focus on the individual needs of children. Every child learns different, and their needs aren't being met when they have to take a test every other week. And the teachers will also want to stay in the profession. They always say there's a shortage of teachers, and I believe that it's because of the testing. The evaluations of teachers are based on the test and how well the kids are doing. If standardized testing was not in place, the benefits of children will greatly outweigh what they are now. These benefits include better social skills. They'll be able to interact more with the other children instead of sitting in front of a computer taking a test. Also, they'll be more independent. They will want to learn on their own. They'll look forward to going to school. And their fine motor skills will be a lot better than what they are now. When electing government officials, I'd like you to just consider their stance on standardized testing. And there are also petitions that have been going around. And when electing officials, keep our youth in mind. Thank you.
Okay, I'll send it to you guys in the morning.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.